Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance channel. Today I'm performing timing belt maintenance service on this 2005 Toyota Tundra, and from the time reasons I couldn't film for you how to remove every single bolt and a nut, unfortunately. But I still would like to show you some important stuff right now. And I got it to the point where the next step is removing the timing belt, actually, right, loosening that tensioner, hydraulic tensioner, which will release the tension here and the timing belt will come off. And I want to show you right here are the marks and how they are matched. They are matched right here. Here is another one, the blue one is matching that, right? And on the bottom there is a white mark right here, hard to see, right? I cannot get the camera there, but there is a white mark on this pulley. So this will be matched on the new timing belt. So let me remove this and I will show you how it's supposed to be installed. And obviously not only timing belt will be replaced, also you will see brand new water pump. That's definitely a must and part of this job. Now here you can see I'm coming back with that new water pump, right? That pump comes with the gasket, so there is no need to create the gasket, and it's held by all 12mm bolts. And these bolts I'm hand tightening first. I'm going crisscross, excuse me. I'm trying that pump sear it evenly on that gasket. Also, what I didn't mention, there was an O-ring on one of those pipes, so that was replaced, right? That's a new one. And I'm trying to put it nicely, evenly back right now. I did all of them by hand. I can't move it anymore. It's evenly seated. Time for torque wrench. And correct torque for all of these, it's 21 Newton meters. So that's what I will be doing again. Carefully crisscross for that even, right, seated water pump. And of course don't forget about those studs, right? It's not just the bolts and one nut which is down here, but also the studs. Everything needs to be nicely torqued to prevent future leaks. And this is the time when less is more, and it's better to do it in smaller increments and go many times around, right? And just torque it in two different sequences and possibly twist that water pump. You heard it, that was the first correct torque. Here you can see number 1 idler pulley, which is the tensioner, right? The hydraulic tensioner part. Don't forget about the spacer, right? It needs to be there. So I can start installing that in its place. You are using that 10mm hex. This is the hex tool, right? And you are nicely, carefully screwing it in. And the torque for this bolt is 35 Newton meters. So again, I'm checking that it has a nice free play, right? Now I'm going to torque it. What was that? 35. Excellent. And once again, recheck that it's freely moving there and back. Perfect. Here is the replacement number 2 idler pulley. Alright. So I can start installing that, and this one doesn't have any spacer or washer in the back. and this will be the same 35 Newton meters. To tighten that, you need the 14 millimeter socket. So again, 35, right? I said. Nice. And again, of course, you will check that it's perfectly freely spinning and there's no play. Excellent. What I do next, I will pre-install this hydraulic tensioner. It has 2 bolts, right? These are 12 millimeters, and obviously you still keep the pin inside, and I will install those bolts only like halfway. Here you can see detail of that tensioner with that pin, right? It's installed, but I still can lower here that number 1 idler. It can go down, and that will make it easy for me to route that new timing belt into place. If you look with me on this left hand cam, this one, you can see the mark is here, and that's because it jumped. It's under the pressure and the tension, so in jump, moved, right? Look at it. So that needs to be moved back to the right position before even putting that timing belt on it. And here you can see that new belt, right? So the marks are perfectly visible, and this is the left cam, which is driver's side, right? Right cam has a passenger side, and there is a mark on the bottom. CR. And this is not very easy procedure to install that belt on, because as I said, those cams are under the load and they keep popping, right? So it took me approximately 15 minutes to set it up perfectly. And now let me show you how I know I have it perfect. So I was talking about that CR, right? You see that CR mark on the belt? And on this crankshaft pulley, there is a mark. It's a white spot. It's not those 2 holes for pulling it off, right? But there is a white mark. Unfortunately, the camera is not showing it. Yeah, but right there where that line on the timing belt is showing, there was a white mark, and it perfectly matches on crankshaft pulley. Now I didn't move the motor, and without having harmonic balancer, I know the crankshaft is in correct position. Do you see that detail? Oh my. Do you see that little dot on the body of that oil housing, and also groove in that crankshaft pulley right there? They are perfectly matching. So I of course knew that the motor didn't move, but I know it's in perfect position there. So the bottom is perfect. Now let's look on the top. Alright, this mark right here, it's perfectly kind of on the right side of this mark, right? So that's perfect. And also this mark, this small mark which is right here, you see it? Oh my god, what's up with this? Why this camcorder is giving me such a hard time? Do you see it right here? It's again on the kind of right side of this mark. So both cams, right, both of them are in correct position. I can feel I have good tension on that belt in every single part, here and here. That's a good tension. And I still didn't release the tensioner, right? The pin is still inside. I screw all the bolts all the way in, so there is already some push on the idler number 1 that put me the tension on that belt, but it's still not at the max. I need to pull that pin. Here you can see correctly installed that belt guide. It's facing out or facing towards the front. And I installed temporarily that lower timing belt cover to check also timing using that harmonic balancer. So I will take that and put it on the crankshaft, and I partially slide it on, and look, the timing, it's also perfectly matching right here. And what this means for me, once again, I have the marks correctly set on the cams, right? It's a correct position. Good tension on the belt in all different areas. Have matching timing here. So I can definitely finish installing this correctly, this cover. All the bolts put them. I will install the harmonic balancer. I will pull the pin, right, which is holding that hydraulic tensioner. I will pull it out. The tensioner will pull correct tension on number 1, and I will do my 1 rotation, which will confirm that everything is okay. Those 2 bolts on the bottom of that hydraulic tensioner, those 12 millimeters, supposed to be torqued to 26 Newton meters. That harmonic balancer bolt supposed to be torqued to 245 Newton meters. And I said I need to confirm that it's correctly installed, right? So I will take the big ratchet, right, and I'm slowly turning that engine clockwise, and I will observe the marks on the harmonic balancer and on those camshafts. Don't be concerned about those white marks on the timing belt. That's past, and that doesn't make any sense anymore, right? So I did once on the bottom. I have harmonic balancer in the middle, but I need to do one more to get the timing on the camshafts. And that's my last check. If that will work out, I will be able to finish this installation. I will know that everything is timed correctly. I did a good job, right? And everything's fine. And here they are coming slowly. The moment of the truth, right? I want to see them in the exactly same spot like before. And believe it or not, I have 0 on the harmonic balancer, and both camshafts are in exactly same position. Let me show you without stopping the video, right, that it's perfect, and I'm ready to go. This is successful. Excuse me for that. So once again, I just didn't want to pause it so you can see that this is what I did, right? It's all perfect. Look at the balancer, it's on the 0. They are all rotating correctly together. This job was done correctly, and I can start putting it all together. And I always keep rechecking, right, the tension of the belt if there's not some slack or something. But all these parts has a equal tension. This is perfect. I'm happy. And I would love to keep filming for you all the next steps and the torques and everything, but that filming takes so much time, and I have just a couple of hours to finish everything that I can't do that. I hope still that there's a lot of great info about this timing belt job for you in this video, and please make sure you are subscribed, because I will have always a lot of Toyota tech coming your way on this channel. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, my friend.